welcome. It's gonna probably be 2, 3 seconds, and then usually we show up on the YouTube. Hi, so good to be here, and I'm very, very excited. Let me see, I'm gonna check quick on the phone if we're actually, welcome. It's gonna probably be perfect. 2, 3 seconds. Just a second. And then usually we show up. Opa, amazing. Okay, we're alive. So YouTube is going. I will check in with comments. I did send out an email and I shared a story on, on Insta and Facebook. So if anybody is here live, please feel free to put in a question, a share. If you would like to collapse some timeline and just to release something, put it in there as well. We can handle it. And welcome, welcome, welcome to Never Heard Before, my podcast debut, where Katherine was a big activator for it, I will say, and it just came up yesterday, being the glitch, where my guests, I can say guests yet, co-creators, are beings that shows the path of the growth, of the remembering, of awakening. And we will go everywhere and anywhere. So anybody can, being the glitch, most of us maximize some kind of a potential starting to embody outside of our old matrix, old paradigms. And that's what I would love to co-create here, share, and ripple into the collective. So yes, and anyone in fact that feeling like you are the glitch, DM me for the next interview. So first episode, I am super uber honored, dear Katherine Clinton. A lot of you know her as a queen of quantum biology and queen of energy coherence that, as I shared with her so beautifully, allows us to think about it deeply and feel into deeply how coherently are we connected, not only within yet with everything around. Dear Katherine, thank you so much for being here and being co-creator of this first episode, being the Glitch podcast. And yes, as I kind of introduced you, who doesn't know, please listen authentically and without filters, because our intention here is that the voices, the messages, our own frequency and fields would resonate with your remembrance in your cells, in your fields, and maybe something will activate, right? Maybe something will trigger. She has so much going on and really is a leader of quantum biology, and speaking beyond that mechanical kind of model that we had about our own health and what it really means to be human, what it really means to have this experience. And yeah, she goes above and beyond. Quantum Biology Institute is one of the places where she co-creates this bio, and now she's not co-creating, creating, writing, and transmitting a wonderful book, Optimized. So go, because I could talk about you like forever. Yet, dear Katherine, share anything you would like. How would you want to be seen, introduced? What is the value that you would like to share here? Go.
Well, Roma, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you started a podcast. You have such a beautiful way of framing things and really inviting people into a new understanding. So I'm so glad you're doing this and excited to be your first guest. I am a licensed naturopathic physician here in Oregon, and I have become over the last couple of decades, very, very interested in a quantum biology approach to health. And that is just looking at these quantum phenomenon and how they interact in the body to create measurable effects, biological effects in our inflammatory state, our immune system, our hormonal balance, our metabolism, our neuroendocrine balance so that we feel a certain way and we can live a certain way. It's a very powerful approach to health that, like you said, it goes beyond that chemical mechanical model. It doesn't negate it, it just extends our understanding. And one of the things I love about it is it gives us free, accessible tools that people can utilize to impact their health and deepen their understanding of their own body and what it means to be human. So I'm really excited. I'm doing, like you said, lots of stuff. Last year, I started the Quantum Biology Health Institute, and we are just wrapping up our first research study with heart coherence on mitochondrial function. We should get the results this next week and in the weeks to follow. So I'm really excited to show that just a very quick heart coherence practice can indeed impact our mitochondrial function. We are doing all kinds of things. It's really, really exciting. And like you said, I've got my book, Optimize, which comes out in January, that walks people through the science, but also the practical how do we apply this to life? So that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Yes, 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 to all of it. And I'm excited. I took a course, I don't remember which one. You have so many as well, a little bit ago in the Institute. You had something that was, I mean, if we went for a few weeks, and you had little recordings with like somatic release or something like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. It
Yeah.
was so amazing. And again, I love those little tools. And why I say little, they're huge tools, yet they're tiny steps, I will say that. Yet they impact in my interpretation and experience. And again, why I absolutely am obsessed with you and adore you and honor you. And it was so fun. I met Catherine as well at this bio conference in Scottsdale, Arizona, because my remembrance came quite a while. And again, I am one of these beings that I don't maybe comprehend something fully. I don't know how I know. Yet in the beginning, I don't have the experience. Yet then I go into and actually go into experience, right? So I've done it all, right? I fasted in my 20, like 25, I think I fasted for 40 days. Then I went into silent meditations, right? Then I hugged the trees for 2 years. And I can actually feel things on my body because I was very anxious, very panicky, very sensitive, insomniac for like years. And I was working out actually. Yet I was always inflamed. Although I was in a gym and in really good shape, yet the way my joints felt, you could see even in my body, like I was just now it's a different flow. It's a different flow. And I was in the gym 7 days a week, and now I'm only three, and it's different because everyday rituals allow you, like you said, that coherence allow you, and we'll go into that voltage, right? Into that current, and what's happening within the body and the field. So yes, there are small, tiny steps, yet consistent ritual, 1, 2, 3, like this, another day, and you will not recognize your nervous system, and then you step into experience, and then you still get triggered, yet less, and it's shorter, and you allow to be the conduit of the heavy emotion, and suddenly maybe you're still feeling it, yet you don't judge yourself for feeling that way, and you create space and safety for yourself. So there's always like little steps, and then that's where the quantum leaps happen. So big subjects with obviously there, Catherine. Very few things came up for me in my own experiences in the last week even. And it's funny that I'm about to talk to you about it. So coherence and voltage, right? And I mean, you can go in so many directions if we're talking about coherence and voltage of a healthy cell versus unhealthy cell. And then obviously, what's the flow? What's the current? Is it there is stagnant energy that doesn't allow? Seeing that at this point, I'm seeing in my own experiences and everybody's around that voltage, that coherence, wow, it can be affected by everything and anything. It can be affected by emotion because again, even Catherine and I today were like moving through our lessons, and we allow ourselves to be seen. And we talked before Zoom. It was like, there is a little residue. We get to be a beautiful conduit to move for it faster with ease, right? As less challenge as possible. So as I'm noticing there's so much, and then obviously even the way I sit, like it affects everything. And then if I tighten my jaws and then the coherence, I went to watch my mom play ping pong, and I actually met a U.S. Open, somebody that is U.S. Open champion, and at 70 something, and not really many injuries. And we literally talked, and they showed even some things to my mom, and it was so beautiful because they were like, besides what is making a movement, nothing can have any tension. So they were like, the jaw, the eye muscles, the everything. And it's ping pong, right? I was like, wow, this is amazing. Look at this. This is amazing. Then recently I read about the ballet, one of the most famous Russian ballet teachers that has students that doesn't have any surgeries. And it's with professional, ballerinas. It's wow. And she said the same, like, they drill and they work on such a coherence, on such a relaxation everywhere, and then are only the movement. That's where the tension or effort is put, right? So nothing else. There's no restriction. You're moving, but there's nothing else restriction. If you're thinking that. So when I'm like, wow, everyone, even professionals that are having less injuries. Yesterday I went to watch a professional dance ballroom thing as well. I talked to the teacher, the same, people that are not a perfect posture of what it takes, injure themselves more, just because your neck is sticking out, or again, the tension, the extra tension in the body, or and it's so I was like, wow, this coherence, this constant being at ease and relaxation, and the best of the best. That's how they even do the sports and dance and sing, right? It's in that flow. It's not in the effort. It's not in the tension. And you see the injuries. It's where we like really like push hard and don't listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I was like putting all this, like, it's just, I could see it, right? It's like a puzzle falling through. I was like, wow, it's just insane how important and how everything can affect. And I could see my mom the moment relaxing a few things, and I'm showing something. Suddenly she has more power. Suddenly there is more flow. Suddenly she has bigger energy, like, and she works less. So
Yeah.
less is more, right?
Yeah.
Presence, the coherence, the voltage.
Mhm.
So anywhere you would like, how can you, and the book, I already know there's so many wisdom and pearls that will help us, support us to align with that coherence and to practice that coherence and to, tune into like, okay, am I adding voltage and I'm taking away from myself? Am I leaking now, right?
Mhm.
Am I balanced and so on? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I think that there's a way to look at the body and voltage where pain, inflammation, symptoms, they're all really a sign of positive voltage, right? Or a loss of that vital negative charge, that flow of electrons in the body. And coherence is, like you said, it's this effortless flow of energy in the body where multiple things are working as one, and they're not working as one by tightening and pushing, they're flowing. And it's just this it really is this innate intelligence that the body has, really life has, that we see in plants, we see in animals, we see in our own body, this universal flow of energy that enters and flows through every plant, every animal, every human. And coherence is the guider of that. It's so very important. So I love your ping pong story and how that flow. I mean, I used to be competitive in Taekwondo, and it was the same thing. It was like you have to get that mind out of the way that's saying, like, do this, do that, move this way. And you just become this mind body flow of energy. And it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so yesterday I was even noticing and I was like, ooh, I get to be aware throughout the day because again, I've been in my body and and practicing and being in it. So there's a lot of awareness about it, I will say, comparing especially to what I was, even when I was working out or like bodybuilder, it was less awareness. Now I know it, I'm in a different place.
Mhm.
Yet yesterday I was like, wow, we could utilize it and check in so throughout the day. So I was washing actually dishes and I was like, oh, my jaw is tight. And I
Mhm.
relaxed my jaw. And then I was like, oh, my forehead is actually a little tight. So I relaxed my, and I had this game yesterday almost all day. I was doing something and I was like, I bent to trash and I was like, is anything okay? This is this but the neck is and I was like, I was checking in if there's things that are tight that I'm not really using for the
Mhm.
movement for the beat, right? So
Right,
yeah,
right.
it was very interesting. So yeah, amazing. So how do we optimize it all? And yeah, maybe let's go even into your book about whatever you want to share, and maybe there is a tool or there is a somatic release that you want to share quick or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the coherence or voltage or maybe something from the research with I don't know.
Yeah, well, I love the game that you played yesterday because that tension that we hold, that tension from stress, that tension, many of us hold tension from trauma. Even for years, we can hold that somatic pattern. And our fascia, this body-wide web of connective tissue that connects to every single structure in the body, it can even enter into the cells. This fascial web is made up of connective tissue, which is mostly collagen, and our collagen is semiconductive. So it can conduct this electrical current, this voltage, this flow of electrons. And when we have adhesions in the fascia, when we're holding tension, either from past experiences or maybe just from that day, or maybe just from a thought that instant, right? Something races through our mind and we scrunch our forehead or we tighten our shoulders, that tension can inhibit the flow of energy through the fascia. And so this fascial web of collagen creates these tubules. They're called nanotubes, tropocollagen nanotubes, and they're really small tubules of collagen that form a triple helix. So we're used to thinking of our DNA like that double helix, but
Yeah.
fascia is a triple helix, which creates a tube. And this tube is lined with this specialized water, with this liquid crystal easy water that can propel liquid and protons and energy through these tubes of fascia. It's like a fiber optic system because our fascia can communicate with light, sound, it can conduct electricity. The water that lines it is this reservoir of free electrons that can move to other areas that are deficient in electrical charge. It's absolutely incredible. So, tending to that fascia looks like that game that you played yesterday, releasing that tension, recognizing where we're holding, checking in. And I think that in the world of fascia, it's become very popular in the last few years. And everybody seems to have their own program of do this stretch, do this maneuver, do that release. when really our fascia is like a fingerprint. We all have our own unique fascia, depending on our movement rituals, our exercise, our lifestyle, our diet, our genetics, our light exposure. I mean, so many things influence our fascial web in the body. And really, it comes down to that individual knowing that game you played, that checking in. Where am I holding tension? How do I release that tension? Breath is a beautiful way to influence our fascia. It creates sound, which can charge our fascia. Our fascia is piezoelectric. So just like a quartz crystal, when it's deformed, it creates, when it is exposed to pressure waves, it creates an electrical current. And that current can go where needed. And sound is a beautiful way to do that. When we breathe in to these resonant chambers in our nasal cavity, in our respiratory chamber, we actually create sound that has the potential to charge this fascial network, this quantum highway in the body. We also are creating this expansion, this pressure in the body. When we inhale, we increase this pressure and we move the flow of cerebral spinal fluid. Cerebral spinal fluid goes through our spinal canal up into our brain, into the third ventricle where our pineal gland sits, or our third eye. So we are moving this liquid that also has collagen in it, right? The fascial network is vast and it can act as this transducer for all kinds of frequency information. So just our breath is creating sound in our resonant chambers that has the potential to charge our fascia. It moves our web, our connective tissue web, but also this liquid fascia in our cerebral spinal fluid. And that has the ability to act as this antenna to these unseen waves of vibration and information in our environment. And that's as simple as a slow, deep breath.
It's like it's incredible and it's insane in the same time, yet it's so sane. Like how powerful and magical we are, and these experiences when you again right, being the glitch, when you live in the old paradigm and you know, where most of us just took up on the world that was given to us, and
Mhm.
we agreed with everything without knowing where is it even coming from. And when you're actually, you know, everything you even said, I had like a Kundalini rising. I had, since it's being the glitch, I had even one day I couldn't understand what's happening. I started having an all body and heart orgasms. In the car, I almost made an accident because I was driving on the highway. I had to pull over and stop. And I was actually driving after my Muay Thai session, early sunrise, singing and crying with bliss. Yet again, I was, you know, at this time, so I was very much practicing and meditation and everything, you know, right in the AM. And it was that initial first high when I went into really, really strict schedules. And really, the first half year, I probably just cried from bliss. And the coloring, even in the world, is that what got more vivid for me.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, breath. I at some point I hired 2 years ago, I think. At some point I hired a breathwork teacher,
Mhm.
and I went all in. And I, you know, so we breathed once a week, and then every day I submitted her videos that I was breathing on
Mhm.
myself with the homework.
Mhm.
Catherine, really my body. So it was the breath work. It was right after yoga. Then it was journaling and finishing with, well, yoga with meditation finishing, and then finishing with journal. And that was when my awakening was. And in meditations, I started going out and seeing through the walls, and I got scared and it was like, oh, what's happening? And I, at this point, I was like, wow, either get to check in somewhere or I get to figure out what's happening. So I dived into quantum physics in the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, wow, some quantum. I even bought the little book, How the Cell Phone is Made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I gotta understand this. So when you were saying, if it doesn't happen, you don't experience it, I get it. How challenging is for someone to believe that through the breath they're gonna heal something, or they're gonna feel better, or their back not gonna hurt, and so on. And yet, again, we're not sharing these experiences, or I'm not making these like creating these episodes to prove to someone. Simply, we're all sharing our own experiencing cis, and in my interpretation, when I see someone's experience, it's a potential for me, right?
Mm,
If I see an experience that I'm like, ooh, it seems like, harsh, or I was like, that's still a potential of life
mm,
and lifetime, right? And timeline, and yeah, timeline, and you're like, oh, okay. So for me, it's being a potential, right? Being that spark that maybe somebody that is like open or maybe starting to have these kind of experiences, and they're like, I know something is going on with the body. Yet again, yeah, through the breath, the way my body looked, I felt like it even shaped itself. Like I never loved my legs before. And then suddenly it's like, I swear it's a different shape now from that like with that beautiful attendance to the quantum terrain, an emotional body and physical in that breath, it blew my mind. And that's why I was like, wow, I gotta find out, like, it works. I know it works, but how does it work? So again, for me, because I read the books like this, and I highlight and I just destroy them almost. So I always buy paper covers and everything. So
mhm,
definitely getting a paper cover of yours, optimized. So I love it. Okay, since a few questions as well, since I shared kind of how my unfolding started, right?
mhm,
Experiencing things because I tried things for my anxiety and panic and not feeling great,
mhm,
and just a lot of heaviness. And then seeing that something works, that we are not it, and there is so much more, and unlearning my personal training, all certifications, and the 5 times eating and the protein. Are you crazy? 10 years ago, Catherine, I would eat you alive here. I would be, how dare you? So I would like to ask a few questions for you in general. How that initial awakening, I'll call it remembering, or maybe one of the bigger first realizations, because in general it's many, many layers, and sometimes there is this one bigger aha, and then there's many small ones as well. Yet everybody had a different kind of journey of remembrance as well. So
mhm.
what awakened you first? Is it pain, or is it truth? And what is it? Because some of us go through pain. For me, it was so painful that I had to figure out to do something with my body, right?
Mhm,
And some people just like a truth hits in the face, right? And then they go to deal with it. So I don't know, whatever was you.
mhm. Yeah, that's a great question. I think when I was in my second year of naturopathic medical school, I was really sick. I was diagnosed with two autoimmune conditions and Lyme disease. And so that really forced me to look at how am I going to get better? How did I get here to begin with? And it was really the stress of being in that second year, really long hours, long clinic hours. And my nervous system just didn't have the foundation because I had trauma. Um, and what I think, you asked, is it a truth or pain? I think that the truth had always been opened up to me in life. I had spent a lot of time in nature. I had had profound experiences in nature, but our busy modern life allows you to be distracted from the truth sometimes. And the pain allowed me to not be distracted. I always had to be present because I was always in pain. So it kept me very focused. And I think it was the combination of the two, of being sick, but also having this experience over my lifetime of going out in nature, forming those relationships, and experiencing a certain sense of truth out there, a relationship with the trees, with the rivers, with the ground beneath my feet. And that was something that I came back to in this time of pain.
Wow, I love what you said. Hence, the name of the remembering journey. It really resonates with me because yeah, even like maybe that Kundalini awakening happened 7 years ago. Maybe these big ego deaths happened 2012 for me. It was the biggest thing, yeah, right. And then yet when I look back, I was like, wow, we're always new. And
Yeah.
the sensitivity of me, and like I was labeled as a too sensitive. My mom's like, oh my God, I don't know how she's gonna do in the world. Like, I was the yeah, and and so when I look back, I was like, oh, I knew, I always knew. Neither
Mhm.
relationship felt normal, and it was a little bit outside of the box all the time. So it's beautiful, and we all know, we really all know,
Yeah.
and that's what's amazing, and it can happen really fast to
Mhm.
reconnect. We're always connected. I think we just have a blind spot that we're not connected to that nature or to or that we're not one. We're always connected to our higher self and so on. So yeah, thank you. It's yeah, you didn't lose the relationship, and it's easy. It's easy with the programming, with the world being so loud and so
Yeah.
noisy. Again, and um, that's kind of on a side note, yet it came up. So if you are in a place where you are battling like a shame or don't know how to come out with authenticity, or you feel sometimes, like guilty to take responsibility because it's challenging to take responsibility because you were in your ego for these years, or you feel small because now you kind of see that you weren't so right, correct? It's absolutely okay. Like, feel messy, like feel whatever you need to feel it out,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Because for me, that's a precise definition of transformation. Be whoever you need to be, right?
Mhm.
To go wherever you want to go. So, the deepest coherence in this moment. What do I get to be? The deepest alignment for me to find in this moment. And maybe the depth today is this, maybe this. It doesn't matter. As long as, I'm practicing the presence and the focus. So, yes, please allow yourself. It's okay. It's okay to feel like you messed it all up. And it's okay to feel like, oh, yeah, it's mine. Like within the last 24 hours. Yeah, like I saw, I was like, wow, it is my mirror as well. Ouch.
Mhm.
Ouch. Okay. Oopsie. And really, I'm very humble the last 24 hours.
Mhm.
And yesterday, you mentioned the sounds as well. So actually, yesterday I came from the dance and the concert and after the trigger, the road rage, and with the people in the car. And I came back and I literally, I did all that.
Mhm.
I did any sound that was coming. It was coming right here. I was sitting for a good 15, 20 minutes and just sounding it all out. And I
Mhm.
and I and I recognized the like we said, the ego story, and this character is here. This girl is here, of course. So she feels things. And yet at the same time, the clarity, even when I was allowing it to move and I was present in it, then there is so much clarity of um, me being the conduit on it, of it, not being it, not be, you get it? So you're allowed to move through you, yet you don't identify yourself as it in a
Right.
way. So that really supported me yesterday. So maybe that's gonna support someone, and just sit and do whatever you need to do. Take the pillow and beat it up, uh, you know, and so on. Okay, second question. When did you first glitch the normal timeline? And what identity had to die? So, like I said, there are sometimes bigger ego deaths, there are sometimes smaller, there are sometimes events that we remember. It's like, oh yeah, I had to say to my family, or oh yeah, I recognized my relationship, or whatever that is. So maybe you have.
Yeah, I think, Roma, I grew up in the South in my childhood, and it was extremely racially divided, very racist. And my parents never really explained the backstory to that. They never laid the foundation out for that. So I spent a lot of the time feeling very, very awkward. I didn't belong. Very walking on eggshells and not knowing why, just sort of this underlying guilt, and not really understanding why. And I think that my first sort of, transformation was realizing that that little girl was in a very violent place and didn't realize it. And she was responding to all these different things, sometimes internalizing them as her fault when really it was just a product of a very just sort of a horrible environment for anyone to be in. And so I think that was my first understanding of our how our own perception really guides um, so much of our biology, right? I mean, when I was in first grade, I came home sick. I would go to the nurse's office almost daily with a stomach ache, and my stomach hurt. I was just anxious and nervous, and my parents thought that I was not like acclimatizing to school, like, I just wanted to be home. And my teachers thought something bad was happening in my home life. And uh, then come 30 years later, I'm diagnosed with a autoimmune condition of the GI tract. And it's like, okay, so we have this physical makeup and we sort of have these Achilles tendons or these vulnerable spots, these geometric matter patterns that come out over a lifetime. And they might have even been picked up from a different generationally, right? Looking back at my father's lineage, there's definitely this stress pattern, survival pattern,
Yes.
generation after generation. And realizing that and placing yourself in that, while I didn't change anything other than the observation, everything changed. And that's so powerful. I think when you were just talking about triggers and judging yourself and feeling shame and all these things, that's the friction that doesn't allow that energy to flow, right?
Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
So wait, okay. So the friction is, or lack of it, is the relationship with the state of being that you are in. So
Hmm.
so it's not the feeling or the emotion of the shame. It's the not the emotion of the shame, right?
Mm.
That will be really infringing so much as you feeling ashamed about being shamed. If you're
Right,
allowing it through,
right,
then here your actual a cleaner conduit is simply allowing it through you rather having and every time we basically pay attention to it and focus on it and then
hmm,
label it, here you go, it's stuck. If I
right,
just feel it and allow it, and then the more I focus, the more I label it, the more of the story keeps ingraining. And of course, and
hmm,
yeah, it's so beautiful. Okay, it's amazing. And it's amazing how everything is connected all the time. And I love that what you shared about um, your upbringing and realizing about this little girl. And I love what you said about, I mean, you're still a little child, like, GI tract and the stomach, big issue. Like it's so much in the field, and a lot of us. So I've been playing that too. Like I'm gonna look at my mom's, let's say, the Achilles tendons or the weakness, right? And I'll
hmm,
be like, ooh, that's what I'm here to transcend. Ooh, that's where I get to. Ooh,
yeah,
okay, that's the same validation, and that's where I get to hold and see, you know, how much I can release. So that's kind of supporting me as well to see like, ooh, what, because I already know that I might have it absolutely, you know, as well. So thank you for that. And then very important, I feel like, because a lot of times, and that's where it comes in for my state in general, and where I got to the point where I passed out 3 times and was taken to emergency because I didn't know that I'm having panic attacks. Funny,
Mhm.
years ago, right?
Yeah.
And because in Eastern Europe, I'm Eastern European. What are you talking about, darling? Anxiety or panic attack? Get the shovel. My mom would say, get the shovel, go to the garden, and you're gonna get slapped for even what are you talking? And they, you know. So I pushed myself to the point that I was just walking and passing out, and I couldn't understand why. Um, and a lot of times I felt so much, and I definitely internalized that it's mine.
Mhm.
So I see that in general, my main, and especially now, right? My main frequency, right? The vibrations go up and down, but my dominant frequency in general, it is very stable and it is high and grounded. And I was, in general, always a positive kid or something. Yet
Mhm.
the internalization was insane. And I
Mhm.
felt always so much. I used to feel even the light. If it's dark, the light is in the other room, it used to actually bother me. And I internalize again, like everything. There is something wrong with you. You walk into the room, you feel a panic. You think it's absolutely yours. You walk
Mhm.
into the room, you take everything upon as well. On the top, your own ancestry or lineage.
Mhm.
The karma that you came up to clean quick, you know. Yeah, it's quite of navigation, this journey. So I'm really
Mhm.
grateful that this came up for you because, yeah, we definitely, most of us, I feel like, deal with it. I mean, we're all telepathical, and like we all communicate telepathically. We're just not aware of it.
We are so interconnected, way more than we appreciate it all the time. Yeah.
We're like two mushrooms connected. I love it. Absolutely. Okay, another one. One of the biggest things that you unlearned about being human.
Um, that's a great question. I think that the biggest one that was the most powerful was that we're isolated, that we're individual. Yes, we're individual, but we are so interconnected. We don't stop at the barriers of our skin. We're intimately connected with each other, with our ancestors, with future generations, with the trees, with the rising and setting of the sun, with the earth that we live on. And it's this tapestry of interconnected energy that connects us all. And I think that's been the most beautiful unlearning, learning, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I love what you said. And again, that's what you ripple and shine. And you know, you keep like I reshare every video of yours because again, it's not only for who follows me and sees it, it's really for me as well. And I appreciate that. And it's funny, like I'll see your video, and that's one of the old ones actually. And still now it makes me smile because I do it. You know, there was one video that there was a girl going and like touching the leaves, and you were said
Mhm.
like even by the touch, and we even and I swear I even walk my dog, and I touch the trees, and I touch and I talk to them, and I pet them, and I'm like, oh, this is Katherine in my head, like I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, last one. Um, Ooh, deep one. I mean, you can go as deep as you would like to. What truth cost you the most? So the truth that cost you the most, and yet obviously you know it was worth it.
Oh, the truth that
That
cost
cost
me
you the
the
most.
most.
Yeah. Again, some of us, whose relationships, some of us even families, some of us, it's more internal stuff, that you're like in shock, that you're like, wow, I don't even know who I am, or whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Boy, that is a big one. I
Mm.
think I would have to define cost because cost has a negative connotation for me,
Love
right?
it.
Like uh, it costs too much, or I had to give up something. But I think that if I define cost as what moved away from me, what didn't align,
The
what most
glitch,
aligned.
people, here is who's speaking? The glitch. She's like, I'm not gonna take the cost. I love it. In real time, right here. Amen. Love. She switched the language. Amen. Love it.
And if I did that, if it was what was the biggest change that let things fall away that didn't align, I think it would be this path that I'm walking right now, that I have uh, a voice, a sacred duty to bring out this information that we are all talking about, right? Certainly not the only one, but so many of us are awakening to this interconnection and to the value of it for our own health, for the health of our family, our community, but also the earth, right? And I think that there is this momentum in the world coming from so many different angles to talk about this, to embody this. And some people don't like that. They simply don't like you using your voice. They don't like what you're saying. And your cost is that falling away or that coming to light. And is it a cost as in it's expensive, or is it a cost like there is a change folding and you are realigning in what matters and where your path is? And so that I think that would be the biggest truth that has realigned my life.
I love it. Being the glitch, being the mission, embodying as well, practicing, right? The depth of our mastery per se, the remembrance. Wow, I love that you went into the cost because absolutely, cost from the ego side, it can seem like, oh, that's cost me. Yet, yes, the cost of the old paradigm of the old lifestyle of old personality.
Mhm.
Correct?
Yeah.
Even that, sometimes it's really the most mind-blowing, the most
Mhm.
deepest griefs. You're grieving more than your past father, you're grieving yourself. It can happen. I went to the big ego death is. Absolutely. And yet, in our interpretation, in our experience with Catherine, correct? It was worth it, all of it, and chipping away at the personality, personal reality. And that's for me, if I would pick one of the answers, what did you learn about being human as you shared the interconnectedness and the nature and oneness? That for me really supported to stabilize oneness and
Yeah.
that unconditional love and that grace.
Mhm.
So even like yesterday, that oneness supports me even to moving through the lessons. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yet the first like, I knew I'm not it, that there is no fixed personality. And I am the whole spectrum. And being able to honor that. That for me was like the biggest kind of like liberation I
Mhm.
felt. Because I really then because I've always felt being many things.
Mhm.
And for me it was like, I'm okay being many things. Okay, let's go. So that's definitely. Okay. Right before we're gonna close out, I have it's 1 minute, 1.5 minute ritual. So we'll leave it right at the end. Yet before that, uh, share. So the book is coming out on January. I know that we can pre-order. I will share the link under. Yet there's obviously a lot of you follow Dr. Catherine on YouTube. She has a wonderful YouTube channel. I share your videos on Telegram. I have a Telegram channel where I share like my favorite stuff, what I watch as well. So yeah, follow her on YouTube. Um, Once the research comes out, I'll be the first on it. Don't worry, we're buddies. I'll let you know, and then we're gonna go from there. And what else? What other offers? How else people can, find you, work with you? What's in the courses still with with the institute? Maybe there is something that some people can sign up for, and so on. So yeah.
Yeah, I do the institute. We do a in-depth um, training. It lasts 6 months. But I do a lot of shorter trainings. And in fact, as a pre-order gift for pre-ordering the book, I have the Unlocking Your Quantum Biology right now that we're doing. It's 3 weeks, 6 different modules, 21 daily tips, 2 live events with me in the middle of November, November 14th and 16th. And just trying to get the word out there. So come follow me. Let's continue the conversation.
I love it, love it, love it. So you know what? I'm gonna pre-order that. And I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, it's gonna come. I'm getting it anyways. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pre-order because I love. It's fun because my risings, and again, support yourself. Beings when when you invest in little things like this, little. You remember, it's inverted. Okay, less is more. I say little because tapping in here, tapping in here. Yet for me, why I love these expansion. And by the way, when you said cost as an expensive, I want to say, yeah, cost is always expensive. Don't worry about it. So I don't say any more word expensive. I always use instead expensive. Oh, it's an expensive one. Expensive, expensive. Yeah. So where I even utilized your videos when I signed up for the scores every rising, I show up for rituals. Okay.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's so clear and my body knows what it wants to do. And sometimes I have pre-planned and there's a hour yoga and then my meditation, there's a little tapping and there's a little journal. I'm done. Sometimes what I plan doesn't freaking flow. If I don't have myself set for a win, that I have a little playlist or a little couple links,
Mhm.
or a couple videos, or even set up a good music where I just go to myself in the flow, because at this point of course I go myself into the flow, and fascia and maneuvers and yoga and stuff. Yet sometimes again, when it's my rituals, I want to be held. No, I
Mhm.
want to be held by Katherine. Because I show up for everyone else, I get to be held. So
Mhm.
even Tuesdays, I do have a Zoom yoga teacher where we go into breath work and yoga and Shavasana. Then, yet it's fun when I don't have these lessons or something. And sometimes my pre-planned stuff doesn't feel, I don't flow. I'm going through
Mhm.
lessons. Literally, I'll put the Katherine's video on. It's 90 seconds, 3 minutes, it's 5 minutes, yet it's already like I start doing one and then naturally I move extra movements, whatever. I decide I play, then there's a next video. And it's fun. You're just setting yourself up for a win, right? Have the fingerprints, there is body movement, there is a little emotional release or somatic release, there's a little breath work, something, journal. So that's why I love and courses like this and making the playlist, because I keep expanding as well.
Mhm.
And if you only know how to take care of your body in your images so rigid that it's only 1 hour in the gym, that's why it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be a lifestyle that you will be able to take care of it, or you will overuse it, abuse it, and be very inflamed inside, no matter how good you're going to look. Yet if you have, oh, I can work out for an hour with weights, yet I can do yoga, I can do tai chi, I can do off top of my head three Catherine's somatic releases. Do you understand how fun and easy it is to tune into your body, what it can do to right now at its best?
Mhm.
So yes, absolutely. And again, if you don't follow her Instagram everywhere. I don't know if you're on TikTok, YouTube, because you'll get obsessed like I did. You welcome. No apologies here. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. Before we end, and in deep gratitude. Right now, I appreciate the field, this container, this co-creation. Every single soul and heart that watched this live, that will watch later, tune in years later, it doesn't matter. May our hearts, our voices resonate remembrance, healing, coherence, harmony within you and around you. Allow yourself, because we do celebrate you, allow yourself to celebrate yourself, no matter where you're at, even if you're moving through the lessons. We celebrate each other right now with Katherine, even if we're moving through our lessons and expansion. And at the same time, wow. Right now, we're going to move into a mini ritual where you can utilize at any time. Take a deep breath in. Open up your arms. You can softly open your eyes. Don't look at the screen right off the bat. And let's start applauding and clapping. Now, Katherine, I clap for your book. I celebrate how many lives it actually impacted and flipped around and activated. And so it is, and so be it. Beautiful beings, I celebrate every breakdown you had, every tear you had, every time life broke you open and you still stood up and didn't give up. I celebrate your open heart when you wanted to close it and you still chose it to keep open. I celebrate your audacity to awaken, your audacity to authenticity, your audacity to utilize your voice, your audacity to share from this kind of alignment and ripple this kind of coherence. I celebrate wherever you are right now, all of you. Keep applauding for yourself, because you know what? So many times we wait for validation from outside world, yet the applause from the outside world will never be sustainable. Beautiful beings, applaud when nobody's watching. Applaud when you're crying. Applaud that you allowed yourself to be fully angry and you shook it out and you felt it out, and maybe you channeled into some creativity. Maybe out of the blue, the podcast was born, right? I celebrate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath, gather all the applause for yourself and the world, and put it into your heart, into your field. You just clapped for yourselves. You clapped for the bliss in your field, for the music, for the symphony that you are, for the pricelessness that you are. No matter the cost, you get to know yourself. Right, Dr. Catherine? And I bet even the clapping, I'm not fully sure yet. In my interpretation, even the clapping and being right here with yourself and clapping for some things, probably there is some somatic right there work done.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone. This recording obviously will be on YouTube. And Dr. Catherine, one more time, thank you so much for you. All the links will be shared below. I know how busy you are. I know how much you do, and yet you are an embodiment. You do create time for your message, for your mission, for your sharing. You create time for yourself because even today, you're here, raw, unedited, authentic, unapologetic. No matter how you felt, you're just being. Thank you for that. This is immense value. We'll see you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk soon, everyone.